Alright, everyone, welcome back to another episode of a Wash and Talk here in Automotive Anatomy. On today's topic, it's a topic that's been running around my head for a while, and it always seems to reappear whenever something else, comes up that has to do with it, and that is the word support. Support is one of those words that I personally have an issue with. For many reasons, and I'll give you guys an example. But first and foremost, thank you guys for tuning in. I definitely do appreciate you guys' time and attention, which is the most important thing that we have in life. Well, let me start by saying the word support, the actual word support, is not one that I really like to use. My wife knows this, so she's always giving me a headache. She's always here. Is there any way I can support you, Gus? I'm like, shut up. And the reason why is because at my old gig, there used to be, a couple people that would use that word over and over and over again. Yeah, we're here to support the kids. I'm here to support staff. I'm here to support this. And then when you needed help, they wouldn't. Or, you see their work ethic is like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean by support? So I would always come home and be like, oh, why do people use that word when they're not really doing anything? It doesn't seem like, I don't know, maybe society just accepts, that as support just by saying it. So I've come across a lot of people that have been extremely generous with their time by watching videos at Automotive Anatomy, by buying shirts, stickers, hats, and obviously without asking for a discount or that awkward. I've had this conversation with at least 3 people that have started a brand or are selling things, and people hit you up with like, hey man, I need a shirt. That's what they say. I need a shirt. Oh, okay man, yeah, well, what size? Oh, XL. Okay. What's your preferred pay method? And then they ghost. They ghost you, and it's like, oh, you were asking for a free shirt. That's what you were trying to say, and that's what it means. I need a shirt. Well, the thing is, you guys have to realize, like, all this costs money, right? I don't expect you to open up a restaurant, and because we're friends, for me to go and say, hey man, I need a plate of food, and you're like, oh yeah, sure, you give me food, and then kind of just walk away. That wouldn't, quote unquote, be supporting your business, right? And so I think that in order to help out somebody, there has to be an action piece. I can't just say, I know of the channel, but I don't watch the videos. I don't buy products. I don't, if there's an event, I don't show up. There's a action piece, which is showing up, buying, and giving away your time. I always reference some of you guys who are in some other countries who watch the videos more than people that live in the same city as I do that are aware of the channel. And that's perfectly fine. I don't expect people to watch every single video. However, I don't like if people think that they're, supporting, that word again, the channel, just because they know of it, but not really going out of their way to really do anything about it. So I've come across the idea that you're going to get more support, here we go, using that word again, from people you've never met, especially when you're starting something. I don't know why. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's part of it. Like, I don't know exactly why that is, but I've come across people that I've never met before that, man, they're willing to help. They're willing to, I have a guy that bought a shirt in Germany, like I told you guys earlier. And, the guy didn't say, hey, man, I'm in Germany, so can you just send it for free type of thing. No, I was like, yeah, dude, let's make it happen. You guys know I lost money on that transaction, but that's not the point. The point is that I was excited that somebody from a whole different continent was like, hey, man, come through with one of those. I want to rock it out here. And again, we all have different ways of spending our money and our attention, and so I don't mind if somebody says, I don't have money. Okay, no problem, man. I do mind it though when You say you don't have money, but then you flex on social media, my new wheels, my new body kit, my new this, my new that. And again, I'm not telling anybody how to spend their money, nor do I really care. But after speaking with many people that are trying to start something, they're working off their garage, they're working a couple hours after work, they're doing their little side hustle, man. It seems like a recurring pattern from people. Like, they hit you up with like, hey, I need this, and it's like, okay, so what do you think, that this just came out of thin air? Something as simple as shirts. You have to get in contact with somebody, and that in itself is risk, because you don't know their work ethic. But you get in contact with somebody, you order shirts, you order a design, or you do your own design, you send it to the person. There's back and forth communication, and this is how you want it, this is not how you want it. Finally you pull the trigger on it, shirts get made, whatever that time limit is. Then you gotta put them, I guess, market them, and then people order, ship it, send them. If they get lost, then that's your dime, because that's completely different. Gotta make sure that you do have good customer service, which means, at least from my end, I send another free shirt, or whatever gets the solution out of that issue. So that requires time, and so for a lot of people to just say, let me have a shirt, let me have a hat, it's kind of like, well, I guess you're not valuing exactly what I'm trying to grow here. And I don't know, I mean, I'm sure there has to be at least one current business owner listening to this, or aspiring business owner, or even if you're not a business owner, you've been in that situation where you needed, I guess, some type of encouragement from others, not necessarily monetary, but just time and attention, and didn't make it through. So that's definitely one thing that I've been trying to remind myself, like, hey, how did it feel when I hosted my first Cars and Coffee 2 years ago? And it was like a private invite, so it wasn't like a massive, but 7 people showed up, and 2 people that I contacted them, said, hey, what weekend works for you? They said this weekend works for sure. I set it up that weekend. Those 2 didn't end up showing up, but then these other people did. Like, interesting, you remember those things. And so, for instance, when my buddy Brandon, in the high desert, which is about a good, I think 45, no, more than that, an hour and 10 minutes, hour 15, hosted his first juice and cars, or whatever, Cars and Coffee. But he's old, so he wants orange juice instead of coffee. I was like, you know what, let's make it out there. It's a drive, at least if I make it to the first one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it every single month, but at least he understands, like, hey man, like, I really appreciate you for making time for me twice, to show your car, your build, your history, your intimate stories. The least I can do is go out there. And I did, and I had a great time. Were there more car events in my backyard? Yeah, like, there's always something going on, and I'm in the middle of it. But that wasn't the point. The point was, let me tell you, man, like, I'm here to really let you know I really appreciate what you do, and the hard work ethic that you have, because he does. And there are times that I can't make it to someone's event, and really it bothers me. But you kind of have to just, how can I make it up in next time around? By the way, yes, I am washing the car when it's really hot. As I explained at the end of the video, I need to wash 2 cars at the same time, plus do some errands right after this. So you gotta do what you gotta do, right? You can just whatever, wash the cars, and one of them is gonna suffer. I figured Jackie, since the wife's car is black, and the water spots will show a little bit more, and this car is due for like a cut and buff, so I will eventually do it. When, I have no idea, but it'll get done. Just a little disclaimer. And so, that's the reason why the word support for me is a funny one. It's difficult to really get my head around it. And not to say that people that watch the videos I'm taking them for granted. No, by no means. I really appreciate you guys' time. because that is one way of showing encouragement, and you guys sending me a message like, hey man, I really appreciate the last video, or I really like that interview, or whatever the case may be. It does not go unnoticed. But I do see this trend of, let me, since I know you personally, let me try to get a discount, let me get to something even free if possible, from people, but from people that or people that are growing small businesses. But then you don't, Nike doesn't have a little place where you can say, hey, let me just get some shoes, and that's it, they'll send them to you. No man, like they don't even have discounts. They don't have those things that you're asking from some of your buddies who they're trying to build a small business. They're trying to grow something. They have an image in their head, and a mission to complete, and so it quickly, it's quickly difficult to engage with people that are expecting something, just because they ask or because they know you on a personal level. It's hard. It's hard to have that conversation, and I'm not the greatest at, telling people the way I feel, because I kind of think about the consequences. Like, okay, so how is this gonna affect? And trust me, it's because I've done those mistakes in the past. Am I good at telling people how I feel? Yes, I am, but not. I'm like, okay, how is this gonna? Let me think about it. And I have come, across some situations where people ask me, let me have a shirt, and so I'll send them the link to either PayPal or whatever, and I say thank you for the love, and they don't respond, and that's it. They don't respond, and it's sad. To me, it's sad because I think the reason why it comes from this mentality is because I am one of those people that if I don't have the money for it, I'm not gonna get it. I don't know. I live that old school, lifestyle. Save the money, and once you have the money, go get it. I'm not trying to be in that instant gratification BS, man, because, a lot of us are car people, and so we won't spend, man, even $50 for somebody. But for Nike, we'll do it. For car parts, we'll do it. It's not that you don't have the money. It's just that whatever that person's trying to sell, it's not important to you. That's all it is. It's not. But and then it's okay. But to go a step further and ask for a discount, or hey homie, hook it up. Like, come on, man. Like, there's so much time and attention and energy that goes into this that is difficult. Again, for you, like I told you guys, I'm not making millions out of these shirts or these hats. It's just a way for me to push myself to see or shirts out in public. It's surreal, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to think that someone is willing to purchase a shirt and say, look, man, like, it's gonna be a conversation starter eventually, right? And that's how businesses grow, by taking losses and learning curves, and that's how it starts. For me though, I think one of the other things, not only the lack of like I told you guys, support, it's just seeing this instant gratification mentality from people. Especially, it depends on what you're into. Your social media feed really says a lot about who you are and what your interests are. And for me, obviously, I think 80% of it is like cars, and then the other one gets split between maybe traveling and sports. But one thing that I feel like we're in a society where, man, we're quick to flex. We're so quick to flex. We're so quick to put entrepreneur on our bio. We're so quick to put public figure in our bio with 150 followers, because we want that lifestyle. It's like, man, like, relax. It's difficult to understand how you can be flexing on social media, but your emergency fund is a GoFundMe account, or asking people for help, with financially. But yeah, I just saw you post that you bought all these different gadgets for your car because, quote unquote, they were such a great deal you couldn't pass on. Well, it seems like you need to pass on more deals. It seems like you need to get rid of stuff. Before you go create, something of that nature. I've now, the more I know about people, the more I learn about them. I know that the people with the most, I guess, parts or builds or things of that nature are not the ones flexing it on social media. I've learned that the ones that are willing to buy a shirt or a product from you are not the ones flexing on social media. Why is that? How is that a common theme? And I've experienced that a lot. My buddy Juan, anything that I've put out, he's got two of. And I asked him last time, "What do you get two? Why don't you just get one?" I don't know. I'm like, dude, like that's $50 is $50. And he's like, "Yeah, no worries." Like, it makes me want to give him free stuff next time we come up with something. Like it again. It's not necessarily about making millions. We're not there yet. But it definitely is about spreading the channel and the word and letting people know, like, hey, this is what we're up to, and if you want to be part of this community, this is where you can find this type of thing. But the more I have conversations with people that either mechanics, I get it. We're on a budget, we're on a budget, but when you ask for someone to give you a discount just because, it devalues and discredits the hard work that they're putting in. You know what I mean? The person doing the work. By the way, yeah, I did move the car because it was hot and it was hard to drive. So I was like, let me move the car. And that'll give me a little bit more time, more breathing room to dry. I'm still finding the towel, but it's so much better. It's not leaving all that little fuss or whatever it had. So I think definitely by maybe by next time I use it, should be all good to go. And look at that, man. Look at my neighbors. Just, I bet they're wondering, what the hell is he doing? Always recording himself washing his car. I don't know, man. I'm just looking at this, and one day I'll look back and hopefully I have my own little place and be like, okay, no longer do I have to. And so some of you may wonder, well, why don't you move the car here to begin with so you can wash the car? Well, if people come and go, like, I don't want to be, having to move the car out of halfway when there's soap all over the hood and the windshield. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see that, I don't know, maybe I sound very negative, like, well, very judgmental. Maybe. But this is also the space where I can share my ideas, my thoughts. We're all biased. We all have our own personal beliefs because of the way we were raised, by who we were raised. That's just my mentality. I don't have the money. I'm not going to go get it. I'm not willing to buy new wheels because, quote unquote, they were such a good deal to pass up, but then I have to ask somebody for rent money. That's just not the way my brain works. And it does for a lot of people. That's why a lot of people live paycheck to paycheck. But shit, they got better cars than I do. How is that, And then, there's a little emergency and it's like, well, let's go create a GoFundMe because that seems to be the common theme. Well, no, like, I'm okay. And obviously I've given, to different people for different reasons. But a lot of it has to be, well, let me see the way you carry yourself. If you're one individual who's constantly posting the new gadgets that you got, whether it's car related or whatever related, it's going to be very unlikely for me to, help you out whenever, you seem to be going through something. And that's just, everybody has the right to show what they want to, encourage, either by their time or the dollar. Kind of going back to what I'm saying with you guys. There's at least 1,000 of you guys. That's freaking crazy. That's not me watching the video over and over again. I promise you guys. So there's at least 800 of you guys out there who are listening to this. And feel free to disagree. Let me know in the comments. Let me know, like, hey, man, I disagree. I think that you don't know the whole story. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm just saying based on what I've seen on people's social media. And I know that social media is a glimpse of what we really are. Shit, if we really showed social media how we feel, how the things that we're going through, I think a lot of us would have a different image of one another. You know, we obviously don't really show or bad moments, you know, as much as we show our highlights of either our life or the things that we do or don't do, whatever the case may be. But you know, that's fine. You can show whatever you want. I choose to show this. You know, I choose to drive, you know, buckets, 90s buckets. They're not fast. They're not show quality. There's nothing special about them, but they make me happy. And the back end, I'm also trying to grow something. You know, whether it's saving money because I don't want a car payment. You know, sure, that the youngster that's next to me on a stoplight with brand new BMW looks at me like, poor dude, whatever. I know that, you know, we come from different backgrounds, and so we have to start at different, you know, stages in the race. But I'm in the race, whatever that race is for you. For me is just being able to be comfortable, and this is for me at this very moment what's working for me. This is, you know, I'm that turtle in the race that is taking things slow. I'm not willing to work another job just to get more money. I like washing my car. I like taking my time washing my car, and not necessarily do I like washing my wife's car. I'm not gonna lie, but it's part of it, right? And so I say that because my wife's in the room, so she can hear me. But no, I mean, that's what it is. You know, I really enjoy just washing the car. Super blessed not having to, you know, depend on having multiple jobs. And if you are, dude, my respect to you, lady, who has multiple jobs and putting in the work. Love that. You know, I respect that so much. But that's kind of the word that I was thinking. You know, support. I see people saying that they're gonna support something, but they don't do anything. No action is taken, and so it makes me believe that they may have a little different idea what support means to them than it means to me. Because actions will always speak louder than words, right? You know, I can tell you that I'm gonna do this, but if I don't do it, then you're gonna remember what I didn't do instead of what I said. And definitely you're gonna remember how you know, somebody made you feel about whatever. And just remember, you know, we are all showing the world through social media, the things that we like, the things that we don't like, or lifestyle that we want to have. Also remember that that's a sword with two, you know, sharp edges. You show that, but then when things, you know, get rough, then also understand that people are going to have an idea. They create an idea of you, and maybe they're not going to be as open to say, yeah, let's help this guy out, when, you know, every other post was, look, I just bought a brand new part, while they themselves are saving and waiting and skipping on parts, even if they were great deals. But anyways, much love to all of you guys, man. I know some of you guys work in restaurants, some of you guys, you know, are business owners. You know, keep it up. I really appreciate you guys. I really, really, really do. And until next time, I hope you guys enjoy this conversation. Alrighty, guys. Hi, pretty hot day today. It's like 75 degrees now. It's definitely cooling down. Gotta wash my wife's car, and then I may or may not do Rosie. Probably not, maybe Monday. But it's getting there. She's looking all right. I noticed that there's a big hit. I don't remember doing it myself, but I don't know. No one has driven this car, so this whole hit right here, I don't know. That was probably me. Not gonna lie, but one down, another one to go. I need to redo these wheels, man. I don't like the way they look. But anyways, thank you guys so much for catching up with me today, and we'll get you guys the next one.